Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Friday Night Sports Desk with myself, Riaz Parker, and Sister Shamiel Isaacs.
Shukran so much, Riaz. So, from a bigger ball to a smaller ball, we're talking cricket. A smaller, harder ball, we're talking cricket, of course. And not just cricket, but, it is Women's Month. We are celebrating girls and women in sport. And, of course, in particular, women and girls who are involved in predominantly male sports.
Yep.
Eh? We had the Muay Thai earlier. Martial arts predominantly also a male sport.
Very male dominated.
Extremely male dominated. And then, of course, now we're talking cricket. And I think I certainly saw a lot of social media posts, me included, thanking, it's been a year of World Cups for women this year.
Yeah.
We've had the Cricket World Cup, and what a spectacle Cape Town put on.
It really was amazing.
In terms of the support.
Yeah.
And I mean, I probably went to most of the matches, and I saw so many little girls with their mothers at the matches and just wanting to be the next, Shubnam, the next Laura Wolfhard, and so on and so forth. And then we had the netball, and what another spectacle. It was just beautiful. And of course, we have the FIFA Football World Cup happening at the moment. So it's really been a fantastic year. It's been an inspirational year. And I think it all started last year with the Rugby Women's World Cup.
Yes.
Where we had a sold-out crowd for the final between New Zealand and England. I think
it was England.
Yes. Yep. So that really got the ball rolling. And we've been seeing like record numbers of spectators at women's sports, and that's been just absolutely phenomenal. So now, of course, it gives me absolute goosebumps to be talking to women umpires from Western Province Cricket, from the Western Province Cricket Umpires Association. Welcome to studio. It's really great to have you. We have, of course, Wilma Jones in studio. Wilma is the MNR Secretary, and she is an umpire at the Western Province Cricket Umpires Association. Good evening, Wilma, and welcome.
Good evening, Shamila. Thank you so much for having us.
You're most welcome. It's great to have you here. Then we also have another woman, another female umpire associated with Western Province Cricket Umpires Association, and she is Zizipho Ndinga. Welcome, Zizipho.
Thank you for inviting us.
Good evening and welcome. And I hope that you're going to enjoy chatting to us all about your role as a women umpire at Western Province Cricket. And then Assalamu alaikum to Shamiel Isaacs. Shamiel is the Vice President of the Western Province Cricket Umpires Association.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah to Shamila and to the listeners out there.
It's really fantastic to have you guys in studio. And I think the previous group, also the Muay Thai, also, they know it's Women's Month, but they also brought a rose along with them for the interview. So we have another rose amongst us. So welcome. I said to somebody the other day, it's wonderful to see so many women in sport, but we always have to remember that we need men's support as well, because a lot of the time men occupy positions within the hierarchy of sport, and we need men to support women in sport so that they can make those opportunities happen for women and create the spaces for women. So we definitely, the thorns and the roses go together, so we need each other. So it's a good complementary relationship between the two species involved in sport. So we're obviously talking about female cricket umpires and really getting women and girls involved in umpiring. I think I saw something about the youngest girl involved in cricket umpiring being something like 16 years old. And I thought that was
At Western Province.
no, not it was, you know, somewhere else, but I thought that was really phenomenal to just see. But I also did see, and this is actually quite inspiring, of course, that Lauren Achenbach has this year become the first female to be promoted to the CSA Elite Umpires panel. And of course, adding to her already blossoming profile, both locally and internationally. I think it's fantastic that CSA has announced that. I just want to ask CSA, why has it taken so long? I think it's really wonderful because I know we've had female umpires for a long time. Wilma, how long have you been in umpiring?
I started around about 2021, 2022. I qualified in 2020, but then, of course, with the whole COVID,
Yes.
we didn't have any sports, so my debut was a bit delayed. So I'm going into my third season now. Doesn't feel that way anymore. It feels like I've been doing it for ages.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it. I love it to bits. And I just want to go back to what you said earlier on and the tremendous support and exposure that we've had with the Women's World Cup. There's a lot of good things on the cards for women's cricket. Government is, I believe, given some funding, so they're looking at professionalizing the sport. So the time for women's cricket, and not just as players, in the match official space as well, the time to get involved is now. It's, you know, the sky's the limit for us.
Fantastic.
So we're very excited.
I love it. I love it. And I can see it on your face. You're glowing. I absolutely love it. Wilma, did you always know that you want to be a cricket umpire? Like, what is it about cricket umpiring? What attracted you to it?
So I was an avid lover of cricket for my whole adult life. I can't say my whole life because as a child I couldn't understand how my dad could watch men run after a red ball for 5 days straight. And then at some stage I started keeping score at my local cricket club.
Mm-hmm.
And I got involved with the juniors there, you know, taking care of the boys on a Saturday morning. And one day I saw this ad for umpiring and I just thought, why not? I am the type of person who believes that you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Mm-hmm.
If you're given the proper tools, and the training department of Western Province Cricket Umpires Association is phenomenal. You know, they are there with you every step of the way. They give you all the tools that you need, you know, so, and here I am 3 years later.
And still enjoying it.
Loving it.
And I was going to say now, you said, you know, when you watched your father and you couldn't understand. And what about the jargon in cricket? Like the terminology that's used in cricket. I think it's some of the coolest terminology.
Yeah, some of it is. Some of the terminology that you get in the law book is a bit, you know, this heavy English language, but some of the slang is quite lacquer.
Yeah. Zizipho, where did it all start for you? Why cricket umpiring?
I just love the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the love of the game. And I was playing for Guguletu Cricket Club.
Ah, okay.
And then I wanted to do more, to play for like provincial games, but I couldn't because I was not like good.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to be inside the field.
Right.
So I did scoring course,
Mm-hmm.
but it was outside the field and I wanted to be inside the field.
Right.
Then I get an opportunity to attend the course online. I saw the course on social media.
Yes.
Then I was like, oh yeah, this will put me inside the field.
So you wanted to be where the action is.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. So Shamiel, from your side, you are the Vice President of the Western Province Cricket Umpires Association. How long have you been involved with umpiring?
I think I started in 2011, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, been involved in club cricket. Went to 2 CSA tournaments.
Right.
And then obviously the age factor, the CSA age factor, then it was 45 years old. It's now brought down to 40 years old, so you can't, that's where the cut ends. You know? So, but for ladies, I think their age, there's no age limit because they're actually punting women umpires to go. And as you can see with Lauren Achenberg, I mean, she's done World Cups, she's really flying.
Yes.
And as Wilma mentioned, I mean, our training department is absolutely amazing. They've never had a break during season break. They've been carrying on with level 1 courses, level 2 courses, level 3. They've just been doing a fantastic job, Tom and Abdullah. And, you know, going out into the townships, presenting the courses there. Wilma just finished with a level 1 course now at Langa Cricket Club 2 weeks ago. A week ago.
Okay.
So we are out there. We're taking it out to the you know, to the local clubs and so on. And yeah, I just think, you know, it's a great opportunity for women nowadays to join umpiring, the Umpire Association, because there's plenty of scope for them.
I think it's absolutely fantastic.
And yeah, you know, like Zizo just mentioned, you got the best seat in the house, you know.
Yes,
You see all the action from there. So
now I want to talk about that. I want to talk about you see all the action from there because you've got, like you say, Shamiel, you've got the best seat in the house. Now I'm sure that you've seen some funny things out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some stories that you can share with us that, you know, what has been the funniest thing that you guys have seen out there?
Shamiel, let's think about that one because I have to go back.
There's so many. I mean, you can't even think of one of them because your mind just wanders because you know, I umpired for, I don't know if you know, you obviously guys know Dylan Oliver, the comedian.
Yes.
My first Premier League game was St. Augustine's. He played for St. Augustine's against Cape Town Cricket Club. Okay. But I tell you, we had so much fun on that field. I mean, it was amazing, and you can see where he is today. He's a world-class comedian.
Yes,
but
a laugh a minute.
Brilliant. You know?
Wow! So he was chirping and joking all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you know, you all avid cricket lovers, you cricket fans. You've said as much, and so you know, being an umpire, I'm sure there's been that moment where you just wanted to cheer on that 6 because it was so fantastic, or that Yorker. You know, Yorkers are my favourite. The way they get the people out with Yorkers is just, I think, the best type of bowling. But I'm sure there's been those moments where you just felt, oh, I can cheer that. But obviously as an umpire, you can't. So you've seen those kinds of great athletic moments, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, definitely, Shamla. But like you said, you know, we've got to keep a straight face. We can't be seen to be cheering on one side and, you know, it'll look like you are favouring them.
Yes.
When you get together with your partner, you'll have a little chat and, geez, that was a good 6.
Yes.
How do you like that ball? Oh, it was a good ball.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's, you know, we give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
So, I mean, we appreciate good sportsmanship and good play just as much as the players do.
And chirps to the umpire.
I chirp back.
That's the best way to handle it. That's the best way to handle it.
I like that, and I'm sure you know, especially as women, Zizipho, I'm sure you know, and you obviously don't only umpire female games, you umpire male games as well. And I'm sure, so just because you're a female, you might get that chirp that you don't know what you're talking about. Or, you know, where you have that odd youngster who hasn't been schooled enough, that you don't know enough about cricket. I'm sure you've had that kind of chirp.
Yeah, if I can come in here, I mean, I've stood with most of the women. I haven't stood with Zizo yet. I'm going to do it this year, don't worry. But I've stood with Wilma, Gaino, Rensha, and those.
Yes.
But I tell you, they stand the ground.
Good. Good.
Whether it is men's cricket, top level, club level cricket, or whether it's ladies cricket or school games.
Yeah.
Now I admire them. I mean, they don't hold back. They stand their man, and they're brilliant in what they do.
Oh, fantastic.
I think, Shamiel, in my first season it was a bit intimidating.
Yes.
Especially as a newbie. But it's very important for us then, to be on par with what the law is saying, because we are there to apply the law.
Yes.
And as long as we do that, you build up a reputation amongst the players, because they do talk amongst one another. And you'll see pretty soon that they then start respecting you, and then see actually, can't take chances with you.
Yes.
You know what you're doing, actually.
Yes.
So it's just a matter of doing what you're supposed to, knowing what you have to do. That's why, like Shamiel said earlier on, the training department has been busy throughout the off-season, where the players have had a nice 2-3 month break. We've been busy.
Yes.
And it's also beneficial for us to keep sitting in, even though we've already got our level 3s. We sit in on the level 1s, level 2s, level 3s again. Because we also don't experience everything during one season. So you'll forget something and then you pick it up again just by sitting into another training session.
Right.
And that's how you revise constantly.
Sure. And are there only 3 levels in terms of the training?
In terms of being able to stay in club cricket and what we offer provincially, there are 3 levels. The next level is level 4, but that is on invitation by CSA only. So that would be for national exam to be hopefully included on, or appointed to one of the panels, either the emerging panel or the elite panel.
And I'm hoping obviously to hear that both of you have aspirations to do your level 4s or to be invited to do level 4.
Most definitely.
Lovely. I love it. I absolutely love it. So we can look forward, Riaz, to seeing them there one day, inshallah. Ameen. But I think that, with like you said earlier, the changing face of women in sport, not just as athletes, but also as boardroom personnel, as, members of excos and members of boards and coaches and managers and umpires and referees, etc., that there is also a chance that women will be fast-tracked through the system. I mean, which is why I said, earlier, it's about time that CSA has appointed, a woman, and hopefully we'll see some more pretty soon, like with other sporting codes also. I mean, wasn't it just fantastic when we saw, the female referees in the men's FIFA World Cup? And in the women's T20, where we saw the female umpires, it was a sort of an all-female cast. And now with the netball as well. So we definitely have the women who are competent, who are, having the experience and the qualifications. It's just about those opportunities,
Definitely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was just chatting to Wilma outside, and I said, with female umpiring, they need to grasp it with both hands.
Yes.
The opportunity is there. And this goes out to even the listeners out there. All the ladies out there, become umpires. There's so much room for you to move. As you could see, the ICC with the ladies T20 World Cup now, it was just female umpires.
Yes.
And that's the intention, with all the female tournaments coming up, they just want female umpires. So there's I can say, the sky's the limit for ladies that want to come on board. So my plea out there is also to the ladies, the female listeners there. There is currently a level 1 course happening. It was only the first week.
Yeah.
So there's not much that they missed out on. So there is currently a level 1 course happening, and it is online as well. So I think Wilma can give more information on the course and the details and whatever later on. But yeah, there is opportunity out there.
No, definitely. It sounds like
there's one thing that I want to just mention, Shamila, and especially to the women who are listening. It doesn't matter that you haven't played the game.
Yes.
I didn't play the game.
Right.
That is not a prerequisite to become an umpire. We've got ICC male umpire Bongani Jeli, who also didn't play, and he's at ICC level.
Yes.
Everything that you need to know, we teach you. And then, of course, it's just game time on the park. You building up your confidence, gaining your confidence in your skills, and just becoming a master at your craft.
And I have to ask, Zizipho, so like with referees, rugby referees, football referees, besides the courses that you have to do and the tests that you have to go through, the fitness, you have to be fit to be a referee, right? Because you have to run up and down a rugby field or a football field, etc. Now you guys stand, but standing is strenuous, and you can stand for like 5-6 hours. And what were those games? Oh my word! So my son used to play every Saturday. When I used to hear the word declaration, then I knew we were in for the long haul. So obviously when it's like a declaration match, then it's even longer.
Yes.
So you guys have to be on your feet for hours. So what kind of training do you guys have to do, Zizipho? Like to be fit for that day, for match day?
As I mentioned earlier, that I play. So every Wednesday evening I go to practice. So yeah, that's how I train.
So you don't actually test it for your fitness for a game, for example? You guys don't get tested?
Not at this level, no.
Okay.
Once we go on to CSA panel, we'll get tested before the start of every season.
Okay.
But one thing that I also think is very important is mental fitness, Shana, because that plays a very big role for us to be able to stand from the game starts at 10 o'clock, the latest that it can end is 20 to 6.
Yes.
You have to have that mental fitness as well. What I normally do is I only tend to think of the game in brackets. I'll think of the start to the first drinks break.
Right.
Then it's done, and I'll take it in chunks like that. It's just makes it a lot more easier. Actually, for me personally, the day doesn't seem so long.
Right.
So that's just the.
And when you do school cricket as well?
We do some school cricket.
Okay.
It also depends if the schools request us.
Right.
More often than not, it's also on a Saturday when we have league games, and of course the league games are our priority.
Okay.
But we do junior CPLs. There's quite a few of that happening even right now in winter.
Yes.
Arme kinders kry so koud, but okay. It's for the love of the game. Yeah, but it's for the love of the game.
They love it,
for the love of the game, yeah.
No, because I was going to say to you, if you think of the long day ahead and you have to think of it in stages. I remember every Saturday during cricket season, the teas we prepared. So, and it was fantastic teas. All the moms, Riaz, would bring a platter of something. And I know the umpires would just smile from ear to ear when they walked off towards those teas. So most of the games are either clubs or schools. Is there any preference that you guys have in terms of your experiences?
Well, like I said, our priority is for the club league games. That's our first priority. And then any requests after that, if there are umpires available, we'll appoint.
And Wilma, just in terms of the courses, we don't have a lot of time left, unfortunately. Just in terms of the courses, tell us a little bit about the program, and then also how can we get, sort of girls and women interested. And I think I also want to know, because this is always important for me, do you do you take this to schools in terms of recruiting, young girls at school, girls in particular, just to get them involved? So do you actually do any of that kind of recruitment at school?
Okay, so let me start with the back end of that first. So the focus area for the training department for this year and this coming season is actually recruitment of firstly Black African women and of course youth. Like Shamiel mentioned, we just ran a level 1 during July at Langa Hub. Our next focus, and I'm actually trying to get hold of Rustenburg Girls High to try and run a course there. So that is a very big focus area for us.
Good.
In terms of getting involved, we've just started an online level 1 course this past Tuesday. So level 1 would cover laws 1 to 40. And so all the questions would be based on that. Once you sign up, the classes are on a Tuesday and a Thursday nights for about an hour and a half. Tom will then email you recordings of each session to go through, and the level 1 exam is also online and it's an open book exam.
Right.
But we're trying to structure it to make it as easy as possible. So in the slides, we've highlighted all the questions, the material that is being questioned in the exam to make it that much more easier for you. We also have a YouTube page. It's called Western Province Cricket Umpires Association. And on the page, we would also load a lot of videos. We started doing a lot of practical sessions in our face-to-face courses. So there's quite a couple of videos there that you can go and watch. Anybody who's interested to please, subscribe and have a look. If you'd like to get involved, you can please email training@wpcua.co.za.
Fantastic. Shukran, and thank you so much, Wilma. Shamiel, a last word from you and then Zizipho, because we really have to wrap up. It's been such a fantastic conversation, and I know that our listeners have been enjoying it and learning so much about cricket umpiring, especially, of course, as we're celebrating Women's Month and want a whole lot more girls and women to get involved. Shamiel, a last word from your side?
No, just to say shukran for having us on your program. I really appreciate it. And let's just hope that there are a few listeners that will catch on to this and join the level 1 course happening at the moment.
Inshallah, definitely. Zizipho?
I would also like to say thank you for inviting us, and like to everyone to subscribe on the page, on the YouTube page.
Oh, fantastic. It's been a real pleasure, guys. Thanks for the great work that you guys are doing and for keeping people interested and inspired in sport. It doesn't really matter what sport it is as long as our children are playing a sport, but certainly also being so inspirational, especially for our young girls and our women out there to get involved in sports. So well done to all of you, and please, you are most welcome anytime to come pop back into studio and just come and tell us about the things that you guys are doing out there.
Thank you so much.
We will do that.